Yep, back with another one. Tim Desert Storm Bradley. You already know what it is. I just want to say real quick, I want to thank all the fathers out there that are involved in their sons or daughters' life and their family's life. I want to start off by saying that I applaud you. You guys are the GOAT for that. However, I'm about to get on some boxing heads, dads in the game that have been just driving me crazy as I sit back and I just watch the way they moving. Let's talk about it. Please, let's talk about it. Anyways, first of all, I'm sick of these clout chasing fathers out there. Yes, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Clout chasing in all interviews, going off, popping off at the mouth, looking at different results of the fights and then calling guys out and all this crazy stuff that y'all do. Yo, stop. Sit down. You're not bigger than the fighter. That's the problem that I have with you boxing dads out there. You think that, you living a dream through your son, right? You were never successful. You were never good at the sport. You've trained your son to get them to where they are right now. And now, now you think you got. Now you think you can say whatever you want. First of all, slow your roll. You're just making a fool out of yourself and making a fool out of your son. You're putting too much pressure on your son. We as fighters, we already have a ton of pressure all as it is. Trust me, I don't think there's a son out there that wants their dad to be running off at the mouth 24/7 or all doing more interviews than they are, and talking, bringing up so much pressure, right? Because what you say, Pops, you got to understand. Now they got to go in there and they got to bag it up. I've seen it in the past where some fighters didn't bag it up and stuff hit the fan. You already know. Haney's of the world, you already know. They didn't bag it up. All that talking and everything. You see where Haney is right now. Mentally trying to get himself back. I know he's physically training, but again, boxing is more mental than anything. And that goes for any sport. I don't care what anybody say. Mentally, that's what it boils down to. How strong you are here, right? How smart you are here, right between the ears. That's what's important. So let me also include that a lot of the dads out there that I see nowadays, and not just the toxic ones that are going off at the mouth and trying to build this and trying to build that. And they say they're trying to build fights. That ain't the way to build fights. Nah. But there's a lot of dads out there that do it. They lack what? Experience. They don't have real experience. They've been training their kids. They either learn boxing by watching it on TV, which somebody can. They can learn. You could be the student of the game and you can learn boxing that way, but where's your experience at? Did you take anybody to the Olympics? Did you take your son to the Olympics? I think that's extremely important. A lot of dads out there that have trained their sons and got them to where they are today. They don't really see the flaws or see the bad habits that was created because they don't know any better, right? So I see a lot of times where a fighter could be great, but his father is holding him back. I've seen it even in the amateurs. I've seen it in the amateurs where guys were good. They were really good amateurs, great amateurs. And they were pretty decent pros to start off, but daddy ruined them. They couldn't get away from their father. Their father wanted to control their entire life. That's another thing that fathers have a problem with. They want to be in total control. They start to think that their son is still a little boy and controlling them and telling them what they need to do and telling them they can't do this and they can't do that. Oh, you can't have a girlfriend and all this stuff. Not allowing them to grow up and be a man. See, that's our responsibility as a father, right? To our sons. Show him how to be a man. Show him how to stand on his own 2 feet, make his own decisions, right? That's what our responsibility is too, right? That's part of our responsibility. Don't you think? I think so. My dad allowed me to do that. My dad, and that's where I'm coming from. My father allowed me to grow to be the man that I am. My father was the one that told me that, son, when you make a decision, you stand on it. Always stand on your business. Whatever you feel, your life experiences is different than somebody else's. Your opinion is different than somebody else's. You stand on what you believe on from your life experiences. That's what my dad taught me. And my dad also, pulled that leash off, took the leash off of me. When I got to a certain age, That's what it was about. And that's how I was able to grow to be who I am today. That's why I was able to grow and be the fighter that I was. Plus, my dad also put his ego aside, right? He trained me when I was an amateur, trained me when I was an amateur. And when I was time to turn professionally, my dad was like, dude, hey, I don't know nothing about the professionals. Well, you have a lot of dads today, they don't know nothing about no professionals either, but they still stay involved, right? That's fine. But they want to be chief. They want to be the number one, right? My dad, my dad was like, nah, I want what's best for my son. I'm seeking out and I'm going to get professional help for my son. Professional help. Guys that have done it. Guys that have accolades. Guys that have produced champions. They know. They know the business better than I do, right? I was a good amateur coach, but I wasn't a good professional coach. That's what my dad said. But my dad was still involved in my career. He just wasn't the chief. He wasn't the head. He laid back in the cut. He let Joel do his thing. He sat back. He would work with me. We worked heavily on defense. It wasn't like I never worked with my father. I worked with him as well. But there were things that Joel saw that I was lacking where he pushed me in and he developed me in. One was inside fighting. That was one thing that Joel truly brought into my game was inside fighting. I was a fleet-footed boxer on the outside. But anyways, I see a lot of fathers that can't let go their ego. Their ego gets them in trouble. Their ego don't allow their sons to prosper in the sport. Their son is extremely talented, but the dad continues to hold them back. I'm seeing that a whole hell of a lot. I'm not saying don't be involved. What I'm saying is get some help, some professional help. Your son can be so much better if he had another set of eyes on him. There's also dads out there that are actually doing a really good job, right? Quiet, cool, collected, training their sons the right way. Abdullah Mason, his father, senior, doing a good job with him, right? Thus far, he's doing a great job with him. Now, will it change? I don't know. We got to see in the future. But he's doing an excellent job with all of his sons. Staying calm, out of the media, not acting a fool, not disrespecting his son. Allowing him to make choices for himself. That's extremely important as he continues to grow into a man and be the fighter that he wants to become. Right? So, one more thing. Dads that live through their kids. Right? They didn't become anything. They boxed. Maybe in the amateur, did a little amateur fights, maybe boxed in college or something. I don't know. They got a little bit of experience, right? But they living through their kids. They're putting so much pressure on their kids. And a lot of times, the father's dad actually didn't have a whole lot of experience, didn't fight in the game. Maybe they had a little experience, I should say. These are the ones that are the loudest ones. The loudest ones. Seriously. Ain't never done it, but just loud. I'm here to tell y'all, zip it, put it in your pocket, zip it up. Don't nobody want to hear from you. Don't nobody care about, we hearing you more than we are hearing your son. And that's a shame. Because today's boxing, as hard as it is, right, to just hear all these guys talk on the internet and talk, in social media and stuff, right? And they don't really get in the ring and actually duke it out. They talk a good game, but don't duke it out. And then you have the dads on top of that that's woofing, talking crap about this person, that trainer, this. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And what you're doing is you're setting your sons up for failure. You are. That big mouth of yours is setting your son up for failure. You're putting too much pressure on your son to actually defend you, Pops. That's the problem I have with a lot of these dads today. Lack of experience, lack of boxing knowledge, not allowing their sons to grow up, woofing at the mouth, crazy, saying some outlandish things. That's the problem that I have with a lot of the dads that are training. their sons in the game today. Toxic dads. Now, it's not every father out there. It's not every father. There's some exceptions out there, right? There's exceptions to everything. But I'm seeing more and more dads get heavily involved in their son's career, and they need to stop. Get that professional help. Seriously. And if you're doing great as a father, you feel you're doing great, hey, you can just disregard of what I'm saying. And you'll see what happens. You'll see how far your son go. But I'm telling you right now, me being a son to my father, and my father never putting that pressure on me like that, was the greatest. My dad is the greatest father in the world. Greatest father in the world. Pushed me, turned me into who I am today. And I want to thank my father, man, from the bottom of my heart for being who he is. Because without him, without my moms, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But anyways, that's my 2 cents, man, and I'm out. Peace.